Okay, starting off part two of my review on the Full Metal Alchemist is none other than Full Metal Alchemist Edward Elric. Edward Elric becomes a Full Metal Alchemist after breaking the ultimate rule in alchemy, and that is attempting human transmutation. His problem, well, not his problem, but his curse is he has to now live in a metal with an automail arm and leg, which are kind of fake. But Edward really doesn't show that he's the Full Metal Alchemist. He wears a red jacket and he wears this black vest. This thing is supposed to keep his arm covered so that nobody knows who he actually is under the whole coat. Well, a few times in the series, he does prove that he is the Full Metal Alchemist by doing a few things with his arm, like the arm blade, turning his arm to a gun. He did like multiple things using his arm. Then there's also he can transmutate weapons and stuff without transmutation circle. That makes everybody like really amazed. Like it's captivating. Edward does play a major role in the whole series. I mean, he is the main character along with his brother. The whole thing is he plays pretty good, and for the series, it's pretty funny though how everybody just makes short jokes with him, like, and of course Edward's reply is like, "Don't call me short. I'll beat you to death, or like I'll rip off your hands and replace them with your feet." I don't know, something to that extreme. Okay, from short people to tall younger brothers, we meet Alphonse Eric. Elric. He's basically another walking example of the broken rule of alchemy. What happened was Al lost his soul, and Edward was able to save him by sacrificing his arm. Now he's bound by a suit of armor. Well, his soul is bound in a suit of armor, and if that seal gets washed away or gets damaged, there's no way of saving Al again. Al can't basically do alchemy without transmutation circle, but he can create the transmutation circle and do the alchemy. Probably by the fourth season of Full Metal Alchemist, the first one, he became the Philosopher's Stone, the ultimate weapon of alchemy. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that. That was their whole plan, the whole show. Like they have to find the Philosopher's Stone so they can get their bodies back. But so far, they're going off crazy, and it's hectic. And Al becomes Philosopher's Stone in the end, and everybody wants a piece of him. The bad guys want him, the military want him, everybody wants him. Alright, Alphonse has a little secret too. He loves cats, so he hides them in the armor. So it's pretty funny though. Now we get to meet the mechanic, and her name is Winry Rockbell. Rockbell, yes. Her parents were doctors that were killed in the Ishbalan War that I will get into later on in the review. She's basically like the boy's mechanic, or basically Edward's, because she can only fix Edward's arm and leg. But she always gets really mad, like when the arm is like nearly broken for for a few good reasons. She's like, "You've been screwing up at my auto mill again." It's pretty funny because she throws the wrench at him, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a pretty bad relationship, but we can't really prove that much. But Renry doesn't really play a big part in the series. She just fixes the arm and leg and tries to tell Edward to drink his freaking milk so he can grow taller. Another short joke in one video. Somebody stop me. And so far so good. Winry Rockbell is pretty awesome for a mechanic. And she loves taking stuff apart. We all know that. Alright, now we're going to go on to the military characters. And starting off is Roy Mustang. He is the Flame Alchemist. This guy at first doesn't really look like he's so serious, but once you get to see him in action, it's pretty obvious that he's serious. But Roy Mustang is pretty funny for a few reasons. He's really flirtatious, especially with Hawkeye. Um, I watched an episode of Brotherhood the other day where he was about to kill Scar with his flame alchemy, and Hawkeye just trips him. And he's like, "What the heck was that for, Hawkeye?" And she's like, "You're useless, Narain. Useless." But it's pretty funny though, because he'll get really serious if he has to, and he's pretty funny, and he's like making all the short jokes in the series. He made all the short series, short jokes. Sorry, it's pretty funny. Next, a non-alchemist character, and that will be Riza Hawkeye. She's one of the military characters too. She doesn't have alchemy abilities, but she can shoot a gun like a crazy person. She will actually hit the target dead on and carries two pistols or two guns in her pockets. That proves she is prepared for anything. Now, Riza Hawkeye is a good and caring soul actually. She takes care of Black Hayate and helps Roy Mustang get back on his feet with the whole one eye thing. Excuse me. Sorry. But Riza Hawkeye is a good and caring person. She cares about the characters. She cares about Roy. She cares about the boys. She cares about everybody. And her mission is her priority. And to that extent, she really can hold her own in a fight because she can shoot up a storm. It's pretty funny though, because I think it's one of the game's cutscenes from Full Metal Alchemist 2: The Crimson Elixir that Edward makes some kind of odd remark about her being a girl with guns, so she just starts shooting at something random. Shot the monster behind them, thinking that she was shooting at Edward. Woo! I mean, she'll hit her target dead on. Next, this next military guy is a trip. His name is Alec Louis Armstrong from the Armstrong family household. Yeah, best impersonation of him. He's basically the strong arm alchemist, controlling the earth. What's really funny though is in every time you see him, there are those pink sparkles coming around him, and he always have a habit of taking off his shirt. And yes, we all know you're pretty muscular. Well, really, we don't need to see you doing it like every time you come. But he is like generous. He's like the generous type of character. But he has his funny moments in the series. He actually has a sister that's really is not that buff, but like she can lift a dang piano. Just watch episode 30. I think it was episode 30 something. I forgot. But also, he can hold his own in a fight. He nearly can't. He can hold his own against Scar. That's saying something. Sorry, getting a little dry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Taking a sip of Sprite here. Mm. But with Alex Louis Armstrong, he is powerful, kind of odd because he takes off his shirt, and just freaking awesome. This guy makes statues of himself by using his alchemy, and he holds his own in like about a few episodes. He fought Law, and yeah, pretty cool guy. But last but not least, for our military side characters is not is Maze Hughes. Maze Hughes is a pretty cool guy. He doesn't really fight that much in the series, or he hardly had enough time in the series if he wasn't killed by Envy. What was pretty cool about his character was the fact that he uses no alchemy, and his only ability is the love for his daughter. He loves his daughter very much. It goes to the maximum extreme to where he is on the phone with Roy Mustang in one episode and he's talking about his daughter. He loves talking about her. It it kind of annoys everybody sometimes, which gets Roy like, I like to quote Roy. Roy says like when he gets so annoyed at Hughes one time, he goes, "I wonder if I can incinerate some of you through the phone. That'll be a good science project." But he cares for his daughter and his wife. He brags about her every day. But his time was eventually cut short when he died. And like I said in the deaths list, his death didn't really so much as affected me. It was what his daughter said. His daughter's like, "Why are they putting him in the box?" I mean, yes, that was a sad scene, man. I mean, come on, you've got like a 3-year-old daughter, and you can't obviously break it to her that the father is dead. But Hughes is the funniest character, is comedic relief. I wish he was alive longer in the series because it would have made a much different impact on him. So join me in part 2 where we discuss the bad guys. Goodbye.